Cameron Fontana recently, he had a chance to sit down with an expert and talk about something that's been called a silent epidemic. It relates to our body's command center. Let's find out a little bit more about this type of injury and how our guest is offering some help.
Nearly 1.7 million people sustain a brain injury every year in America. And to talk about more about that is Stephanie Ramsey with Brain Injury Association of Ohio. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Cameron. Very nice to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit more about your organization.
Okay, the Brain Injury Association of Ohio is a private, not-for-profit organization. We are an affiliate of the National Brain Injury Association of America. The organization here in Ohio was founded 2 years after the national organization, 1982, and it was started by a group of survivors of brain injury, family members, medical professionals who were involved in the treatment and care of individuals who sustain brain injury. And it is dedicated to meeting the needs of the general population in terms of knowledge, education, awareness of brain injury, and also promoting the development of services for individuals who have been so affected.
Specifically, what exactly is traumatic brain injury? What goes on there?
Well, traumatic brain injury is any injury that disrupts the function of the brain by either one of two ways: what we call a closed head injury, which is caused by a blow to the head or a jolt to the head, such as would happen when you sustain a whiplash, for example, and the brain inside that bony skull hits up against the interior of the skull. So that's a closed injury. Penetrating injury is one that would be caused by something entering the skull, such as a bullet, shrapnel, something of that nature.
How different is that from a concussion?
Well, a concussion is a form of brain injury. It's a closed injury, the kind I described at first. And most concussions, they're fairly common. Most of them are fairly minor, which is a good thing. But repeated concussions can be very dangerous, especially for young people.
Who is at risk to sustain everywhere from a concussion to traumatic brain injury? What's the most common?
Well, you know, traumatic brain injury is sort of an equal opportunity injury. It doesn't respect any particular age group or gender. However, there are certain segments of the population that are at greater risk from birth to age 4 because they fall. Teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19 because they're driving cars, many for the first time, and that presents a risk for them. Then males, especially between the ages of 45 and 55, and the elderly over the age 65, which is in fact the fastest growing segment of injury incidents now.
For viewers that are watching that want to help those that are injured or the families, what do you have for them that they can do?
Well, right now, one of our most important initiatives is the Bowling for Brain Injury fundraiser.
You can bowl to help those that suffer brain injuries?
Absolutely.
Wow.
This is actually the signature fundraiser across the country that's sponsored by the national organization. Each participant is asked to pledge a fundraising figure of $100. We're hoping to get a little friendly competition.
Some friendly competition.
Going. Right.
Great. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you,
and hopefully
Cameron.
those of you can bowl to help those that suffer brain injury. And for any more information, you can just visit biaoh.org.